January and went immediately to the University of Alabama. And Mighty, I don't think they made that mistake in this book. They'll say, Bobby played quarterback for Alabama. I never played quarterback for Alabama. I was a tailback, and I didn't play anyway. I was down there during spring training, and back in those days, they had a rule that if you got married, you couldn't have a scholarship. Now, that was not just that was all Southeast. You know, if you got married, you can't have a scholarship. Well, Ann was 16. It was about time.
I got to ask you about that.
They put me in jail today.
There's a few little parts in here that's juicy that we're going to talk about. It's in the book.
Yeah.
I'm not asking anything that's not in the book.
That's all right.
Okay. And I'm talking about Woodlawn, y'all, because I'm up in Birmingham a little bit, and I can't tell. I just talked to somebody today, Alan Pizzatola. He was talking about you knew his dad, Mr. Pizzatola from Ensley, and I just talked to Alan. He's a buddy in Birmingham. Yes, sir. And Coach Bowden goes back to Birmingham every year.
Yeah.
Just about every year.
Oh yeah, every year.
For what,
every
2-3 weeks?
Yeah.
2-3 weeks. Coach goes back to play golf with your old buddies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every year, and you hear about that in Birmingham. I mean, you know it's like clockwork. Coach Bond's coming back.
Yeah.
And the Woodlawn piece is really interesting to me. How that.
Yeah, we raised money for our high school coach,
right,
who we all loved. We sent probably 25 kids to Sanford University to buy scholarship money that we've raised.
Right.
So we do it every year. We've been doing it for 30 years.
Yeah. So Coach, like he said, he finishes at Woodlawn, and he goes to Alabama. And he had become an Alabama fan, if I remember correctly, while you were feeling poorly. You're listening to the radio, listening to Harry Gilmer and all the other things going on with Alabama. Harry Gilmer was one of the first quarterbacks to ever throw the jump pass back in the day. And so he goes to Alabama, and I don't know if I have this straight, but I thought it was one of the most interesting moves I've ever heard of on how to meet a girl. He sees this girl across the street that he thinks is real attractive, and he starts throwing rocks at her. Trying to get her attention. He's throwing rocks at her. And I've met Mrs. Bowden, who is just a wonderful, absolutely amazing woman. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what happened there?
Well, it's amazing. When Ann was 14, Ann had been living up in, she was born in Gadsden, Alabama. Then her daddy worked up in Tennessee during the war. Then they moved back to Birmingham in 1946. Ann was 14 years of age. I was 3 years older. I went to a wiener roast one night at our church. They had a wiener roast. And just me and my buddy went. Everybody else, some of the others took their boys and their girlfriends together, you know. So Ann, this boy and I go, and I see Ann for the first time. Boy, I said, ooh, I like her lose, you know. And, well, she was 14. So anyway, I lived on one side of the church. We went to church, this church, and I lived about 3 blocks that way. She lived 1 block that way. So every Sunday I'd see her at church. She sang the choir. And so my best buddy lived about 3 doors down from her. And we'd go down and sit on the street corner at night under the street light. Remember how you used to do as a kid? And throw rocks and talk and have a good time, kids, you know. Well, she lived right across the street. So I saw her come out there in the yard, sweeping the yard, man. You know, I got to do something to get her attention. You know, so I started throwing rocks up there. And hey, that's 62 years later.